What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over the trades that we took today inside the Discord, as well as the game plan going into tomorrow and the rest of the week on what I'm watching. So, again, I did not even pull up the SPY charts. This kind of been more of a swing trading individual stocks, game plan for the last week or two. That's kind of what I've been more focused on. But again, I'll give you my analysis on SPY, what I think, and what to look for. So, again, we have the August 15th contracts. This tells us the main trend in the market on the bigger picture. So for this contract, the monthlies, we're only using the daily and the 4 hour. So this 4 hour 50 and the daily 50 are the dips you want to buy. In the trend, obviously the daily 50 is going to be a major pivot point. And since we're still crossed on this chart, we're still bullish on the bigger picture. So if we get any big dips, this 50 SMA is right here, big support. Would expect a bounce, but obviously eventually this is going to break because we have been ripping non-stop the last however many weeks. So at some point this will break and this will go negative, and that's when we'd expect a solid move lower. But until that happens, I favor the upside. And if we go to the 30-minute, I'm not even sure what we looked like on the 30-minute today. So on the 30-minute, this is what we looked like. Chart went negative on SPY, so you can see what happened. 10 went above the 50, 10 went below the 50. I mean, like I said yesterday, I did favor this to go higher right at open. This couldn't end up crossing and going back to the bullish trend. So ended up rejecting 50, came down. Obviously there's nothing to play right here. I mean, you're not buying this 50 reject because the 50 still sloped up. I just wouldn't be buying that, especially with how the higher time frames looked on SPY. I still remain more so bullish. If we look here, hourly did go negative. The 2 hour doesn't look great, and the 4 hour also doesn't look great. So maybe we will get a move lower. It's really too early to tell because this 4 hour chart, the 50 is still trending up, and so is the 10. So it's too early to tell. We hit the 10 SMA on the daily. It's not that significant, but more so if this 4 hour chart did go negative, then that will probably cause a big move lower. But right now on SPY, technically we are neutral. I still do favor upside a little bit, but again, we're in a neutral market. I'm not even gonna touch SPY because we are in a neutral market. I know there was definitely an opportunity today. I think the Discord caught some short, if Colin called it out or not. But I know some people shorted, made some cash, but I was not looking at SPY. I've been way more focused on my swings. They've just been doing so much better. Honestly, who knows? I may even switch to just doing individual stocks all the time, and then just kind of playing the monthly trend on SPY because, in my opinion, this is the easiest way to swing trade. It's so easy. We're just playing crosses on we have two sets of contracts we're watching. The August 15th tells us the bigger picture trend. I would say it's more so obviously it's the monthly trend because we're on the monthly contract, so that's the easier way to look at it. These are the weeklies, but if we go back to the monthlies, you can see we've been just trending up. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter just trying to catch the top, and that's kind of where bad things happen, because when we have the system, the trend's our friend, and we're able to we know what side to stay on, and then once we start breaking below this 50 on the higher time frames, that's kind of when we know, okay, we might actually see a drop lower now. But yeah, I mean, we've been vertical, a little pullback here, but again, like I said, this pullback right here, I was still bullish. Why? This 50 SMA sloped up hard, and we're still above this chart crossed on the monthly. So bigger picture is bullish. We end up going higher. And then again, this 30-minute chart tells us the weekly trend. So this is a smaller time frame than the August 15th contract. So when the 30 minutes neutral, higher time frames still bullish on the monthlies, then you wait for this chart to cross on the 30-minute and you can take an entry point. It's the same concept as it's the exact concept as what I've been going over on the individual stocks. So we're either going to get a dip for the 50 on the monthlies and you buy the 50 dip on the monthlies, or you wait for this 30-minute chart to cross again, and that confirms we're going to go higher and continue ripping but before we hit the daily 50. So once the chart recrosses, that's when bulls are going to send this higher. But some individual stocks, again, Google, I love this chart. I do. Told you guys we had some drawdown, but again, what did I say? I'm not holding this until we close below the 50. Again, weekends get shaken out. We dipped again to 1.8. That was early in the morning, and we just ended up wicking up and going all the way above the 10 SMA today. So right now, sitting up 30% on those. I'll show you the screenshot actually of the position that I got. I got the 195. So this was at the close, I believe, sitting up 30%. Actually, 10 minutes before the close. But yeah, this is what we're rocking with right now. It's probably a little bit more, maybe 35. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'd have to look again. But last screenshot I gave in the Discord and what I got. So 30% on the Google and 195s. Again, I said I was down like 40, 50% at one point. But again, sticking to the plan. As long as this daily 50 holds, that's when I continue to hold. I mean, yeah, I'm up 30%. Some people would be like, okay, start trimming. No, man. Like with these charts, we could expect such bigger moves, and that's why I don't settle for those like 30, 40% gains. With these options trades, at least, like, it depends really, but I'd say like 70, 80% minimum for a trim, and then hold the other half until you're up at least over 100%. Trim half of the other half you got, or trim half of the whatever remaining amount you have, and kind of let the rest ride every like 50 to 100%. You could trim along the way, or again, you're risk free at that point, so you could honestly hold it as long as you want. Hold it to 300%, 400%. I mean, really doesn't matter. Just trim on the way up. When you're up at least like 70, 80, I kind of like to shoot for over 100%. But yeah, really all depends on how many contracts you have. So if you're like sized in with only 2 contracts, I'd trim one probably at like 70 to 80%, and then hold the other one for like 120 to 150. So yeah, or you hold a little longer until 100%, trim half at 100, and then hold the other one for like another 50 to 100%. So yeah, Google, I still like this. It's really good. 10s above the 50 on the daily. On the monthly is bigger pictures bullish. I'm still swinging this into tomorrow. Chart looks good. Hopefully we get a nice green candle on the daily tomorrow. That's what I would love to see. What else do we have on the list? This is a little bit of repeat of yesterday. Oracle is a new one that I did pick up on like the watch list here. But this chart, again, very nice. I'm not sure what the 30-minute looks like. We're probably like crossing on the 30-minute for the weeklies. If we are, it's a good long. It was a good long to take if we did cross on the 30-minute today. But yeah, it's the same concept. 10 goes above the 50. That this cross right here signifies the monthly trend is bullish, and all dips to this 50 are the best opportunity to buy when it comes to risk to reward. So we got this dip to the 50, didn't hit it exactly, but again, we're not always going to hit the 50. If you don't get an entry point, that's fine. Wait for the weeklies to cross on the 30-minute to take an entry point. So there's no really missing the boat when you could either buy this 50 dip, and you don't really have an excuse, because if we get the 30-minute cross, that's your other opportunity. So that pretty much confirms we're going to go higher. There was definitely some sort of 30-minute cross in that action, and I'm not sure what we look like right now because I don't have the weeklies pulled up. But Oracle, it's a really nice looking setup that probably you could have entered today. I'd imagine there was some sort of cross, but yeah, that daily chart is looking really good. And then we have Nike, like I said. I mean, this was a really, textbook play that happened last week. So, we ended up getting that cross on the daily. Like I said, it still looks good for higher. I mean, I wouldn't go chasing this up in here. Like, that's just not how you play these charts. You either buy the daily 50 or you buy the 30-minute cross on the weeklies. So, you wait for one of those to happen. Those are 2 entry opportunities. Wouldn't go just buying because this chart looks like it's going to go higher. The dip buys are on the 30-minute 50 SMA, as well as this daily 50 you could buy. What else we got? Hood. Hood, I think, dropped a little bit today. Yeah, we're sitting right at the 4-hour 50. I'm pretty sure the weeklies are crossed. From the last time I checked, I think they were. I'm not sure exactly. I'd have to check. But again, if the 30 minutes crossed on Hood, buy the dips to the 50. If we're not crossed on the 30-minute, wait for the 30-minute cross. 4-hour chart, it's holding that key support for now. Daily chart doesn't have a 50, so there's nothing to really go off of on that chart. But Hood, like I said, looks solid. I wouldn't say Hood isn't the best setup in the world, but if we did get the 30-minute to cross on the weeklies, then it's not a bad setup to take. OKLO, told you guys don't chase because it could pull back, and it did today to the 10 SMA. Like I said, wait for the 30-minute chart to cross on the weeklies or buy the 50 dip, one or the other. It's very simple. It's the same type of setup on every single chart. And then what else we got? AMD. I mean, look at this. I mean, come on. This AMD chart is insane. I mean, if you bought the 50 dip, I mean, let's say you got 0.90, terrible fill. 0.90, contracts are sitting at 1,400. I mean, like, that's just outrageous. Hopefully, we get Google to look like this over the next 2 days. Hopefully, Google gets one of these massive candles. That would be great. But again, this is why I play these contracts and why I don't settle for those small percentage gains. Obviously, it's unrealistic to really hold this entire way, but if you're holding runners, it's definitely not unrealistic because you just trim along the way up and then hold runners until those couple 100%. But yeah, outrageous move on AMD. This is why we play these swings on the daily chart on the monthlies, because you could catch these types of moves. Last one, coin. went over this yesterday, sitting right at the 50 SMA on the daily. Again, you could wait for the 30-minute chart to cross. It did get a clear closure under, but again, we do have this 10 SMA right here that is pretty far away. So honestly, if you did buy that 50 tab, I'd still be holding this to kind of see how tomorrow plays out, because it could still wick off of the 50 tomorrow and bounce. So again, when we get this type of candle closure under, I honestly would still be holding this, and I'd probably just keep a stop at, if this chart is all the way down here in the afternoon, that's probably when I'd actually cut it, or just wait until like 10 minutes before the close. And if we're gonna get a decent closure below, then you stop out. But those are some setups that I'm watching that I like. Kind of my analysis on how I read these different types of charts, the monthlies and the weeklies. It's pretty simple. Crosses and 50 dips. That's all we're doing. Just different time frames, different contracts. So that's all I got. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. If you guys want to learn, join Discord down below. But that's all I got. I'm out. Peace.